Good evening and welcome everyone to tonight's official coverage of Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 6. It is round 8 and we're up for a huge 2-hour race here at Spa. All this proudly brought to you by SIMBLACKS, True to Life Racing Designs, CrossCut Woodworks, Carpentry and Joinery, Crossy 43, and of course HENDO. And as always, broadcast to you live by MATCHFIT Entertainment. MATCHFIT Entertainment on board. That means myself, Davo, and my wingman, as always, J-Man by my side. How are you doing this evening?
G'day, Davo. Good evening, viewers. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, I'm great, mate. And yourself? I know you've been battling the last week, mate. So it's really great to hear you sounding a little bit better than the last time I sat in the seat beside you, mate. So you do sound better. Still a fair way to go, mate. So we'll do our level best and try and apply both wings to the wingman thing there tonight for you, Davo. But look, as you mentioned, round 8 here, Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. So tonight, pretty cool format. Obviously, got a big one ahead of us. Couple of hours on the trot here tonight, but one of the interesting stats around tonight is the fact that it is 6 times scale. So we're effectively going to see a 12-hour inside a couple of hours here, viewers. So expect them to start at 10 a.m. once they do commence racing and finish at 10 p.m. So falling into the darkness and yeah, maybe a mixed bag on the weather front. Looks really good for the first phase of qualifying here tonight. Obviously, we are going to see the Pro-Ams and the AMs go out. So once again, this is always a great session to watch as we see the likes of Gunther Rowe and I think previously as well, Mitchie Haas will really go at it to really punch some times in there. Tony Spence is another one that's really been able to fire that Capsize Motorsport McLaren up in there. And McLaren's looking really good here tonight too, Davo.
They are.
So
looking very quick, just watching pre-race practice, J-Man, some healthy top speeds from the McLaren, even
276k an hour, mate.
Yeah, pipping the Mustang, I think even the Bentley. So yeah, that's some healthy speed. And Spa, the place, you do need this sort of speed from your car to make the big gains.
Ooh,
as the boys roll out for qualifying, we will get some vision to you. Let's get
63 car Mark Turbot would be the first car out on track. Got a nice healthy breath of fresh air in front, obviously being the first car, and certainly behind back to I believe the next car that did peel out behind him was Danny Kim in the 11 car. So that is the Ferrari, the Kessel Racing Ferrari of Danny Kim would be the next one in the line. So yeah, great to see these cars out at this beautiful racetrack. 19 turns here. Some, what is it, mate? Is it seven odd kilometers or something like that? I think.
Yeah, no, she's a sizable circuit, old Spa. Plenty going on throughout those 7 odd Ks too, J-Man. It's got a little bit of everything, hasn't it? Like we just mentioned, obviously, top speeds. It's got some really good long straight runs. But yeah, plenty of twisty stuff to keep the boys thinking. Some switchback stuff. And yeah, the elevation changes are notable. And obviously, as always, the famous Eau Rouge early sector of the lap. So.
And it's so critical too. So you mentioned Eau Rouge. So that basically is 2, 3, and then they come out of 4, which is Radalon. And Radalon leads you onto the Kemmel Straight. And the Kemmel Straight's so important to head down to turn 5 Lacombe's for that chicane at the end of the straight. We know how critical that run is. We know that guys will run wide at Eau Rouge and you know, you certainly don't want to do it in your quali lap because you will get no classification of time if you get a run wide there. However, in the race, you're going to get away with X amount. But what it'll do is when the guys and girls run out of track limit infringements here, you will see them really, really lift off. And that's especially inside these longer races where you're likely going to see somebody make really big gains on the Kemmel Straight heading down to turns 5 and 6 with somebody being compromised by their run. So also another one as well, coming out of Paul Frere, turn 15, and then they basically full throttle all the way out of 15, down through 16, 17, Blanchimont. You'll hear us talking about the Blanchimont curves there, and then they'll come into turn 18, 19, the final chicane, big under brakes down there. Another great spot to attack and get the drive off a 9N before the start-finish line.
Definitely, J-Man. And just looking at the leaderboards as the boys start to come across for their first indicative times, and a new name comes to the top of the list there, J-Man.
Yeah, so a couple of new names, mate. So obviously first one that we're looking at is on the top, and that is Mr. I believe it's Matthew Clark in the Falcon Tyre BMW. So he's doing a great job straight away on an 18.0. Anything low 18s or in the 17 bracket is very, very impressive around Spa. They talk about the top 1% may get into the 16s, but yeah, an 18.0 is very, very good. So very good looking early classification time there from Matthew Clark. The other name also to mention is Ben Collins in the Pit Viper, Aston Martin. I believe this is the first time that you and I have commentated Ben
yes.
out on track. So welcome aboard to those two gentlemen, and I hope they go well tonight.
Definitely. Other than that, the usual suspects, J-Man.
Yep. Very much so. They are all out there, and like I mentioned, Mitchie Haas, Tony Spence, George Goddard, Ken Worcester. Good to see Ken back in that beautifully presented Mustang. He's out there. Gunther Rowe hasn't presented a time as of yet, so that could be the Rouge effect happening already in this qualifying.
Well, quite possibly, J-Man. Yeah, easy to get wrong, and really need to go full commitment in there to get an indicative time here at Spa. But so easy to get it wrong and get a tyre across the control line and void your lap, as we just see him put that Gorilla Racing Mustang to
provisionally on the front row with an 18.3. Now these are two times that will serve them very, very well. I mean, a 17.8 from
Clark is quick.
Clark sort of probably begs the question of whether maybe first time up, whether he's maybe in the wrong or right class. But hey, that's not for you or I to decide. However, 17.8 is a very, very handy time.
But yeah, as do new drivers here at Rainlight, they get slotted straight into the Pro-Am category, and it will either move up or down from that class as the data comes in over a couple of weeks. So Clark already showing his prowess at the hands of that BMW. So nice work from Matthew, is it? Matthew Clark.
Matthew Clark, yep.
Yeah, so nice work. And
some good times coming. Turbot's on a big number. Also, Mitchie Haas on a good number already as well. And then, you know, lots of improvement, obviously, in these second and third laps for these drivers. They will have around about another, what are we looking at? 6.5, 7, something like minutes odd to go, breaking the session into 2. We will see the pros come out after this. So just borderline on half the field out at the moment. And then from, I guess, P12 down through 24, we will see, well, actually, Uncle Joe not out there at the moment. So it would be bang on half the field, probably would be out if Joe had gone and banked the time. So good spread through the field. So
definitely.
Very, very good to see. Now, look, Matthew Clark pressing on with this lap also, just coming down through Blanchimont at the moment. Got a couple of tenths up his sleeve. Gunther Rowe also, now he's coming down there as well to the final chicanes, 18-19, and he's carrying a good 5 to 6 cents. Mitchy Haas goes to the top on a 17.715.
Very nice, but Clark's up on his delta, J-Man, and
yeah, 17.697 just pips the Mitchy Haas
there
time.
you go.
And Gunther Rowe, he, I think, might have made the slightest improvement, so might have thrown a lot away in that final chicane. However, still enough at the moment, provisionally P3. Just warming of the brakes as Mitchy Haas exiting the pit lane. Clark gone back out also, mate. So, yeah, everybody enabled that can go has gone to have another run at this thing.
Yep. Absolutely, J-Man. Look, a long lap here at Spa, and so 15 minutes qualifying for this split qualifying is still not a long time, is it? Not a lot of laps to get under your belt, but once it hits that 15-minute mark, they will be on their final laps, and the pro drivers will have already started to roll out. So it'll just be interesting to watch where everybody lands.
Yeah, absolutely.
When that time comes around.
So just looking at, I just picked up on Spence. Now Spence is actually coming around 14-15, which is campus, about to head out of Freret now and head down towards Blanchimont. And this is where the speed builds, you know, and they've really got to just watch that they don't step too wide of the mark as they put the car on the very right-hand side of the track here. 2 wheels out in the AstroTurf, the safety grass we used to call it, Davo. It's not always that safe.
It's definitely not that safe. It's a stunning looking car, that SSR car.
And
he's got some
good deltas going here.
He has got some good deltas going there, J-Man. That would easily sneak him in above
P3.
Yep. Nice.
Above Rowe, yeah.
Nice. So Rowe already in the pits.
Yeah, he's given it away. 6 sets of tyres tonight for this qualifying session and the race. I would think that would be ample for what we will see. Definitely be, I would think, a one-stop affair for fuel and tyres. Probably a set in the Pracky, and then maybe a couple of sets for the session. You know, you'd expect that Gunther's gone and bolted on another set. What's he got? 17.25. It's going to be super tight to see whether he actually gets across the line. Yes, he will. Yeah, he will. Yep. Yeah, he'll be fine. Where's the 216 Spence? Oof, I'll tell you what, if Tony Spence can bang a 216, I'll be well impressed, Mr.
Yeah, well, 216.
The McLarens are looking good.
I don't even think in pre-race, did we?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I think I did see one earlier today. I believe I saw a 16.8 and a 16.9.
So, yeah, look, plenty to play for here.